your very own Mr. Entertainment. Mark Mulgrew on 107.8 Black Diamond FM.
I've been a singer for most of my life. I've had money and I've been poor. I play my guitar to a handful of bands and I've heard them shout for more. But through it all I've been so lonely. I miss my woman, the velvet touch so much. Hello happiness, goodbye loneliness. Tonight we'll swing to the morning light. Come on over, you're all invited to see my baby dancing with me. Too many years I've been on the road. Now I've lost the heart to play. There's only one thing that I want from this life, to be home and home to stay. No more waiting for the mailman, no more lonely, lonely nights. That's right. Hello happiness, goodbye loneliness. Tonight we'll swing to the morning light. Come on over, you're all invited to see my baby dancing with me. Yeah. Hello happiness, goodbye loneliness. Tonight we'll swing to the morning light. Come on over, you're all invited to see my baby dancing with me. Yeah. Hello happiness, goodbye loneliness. Tonight we'll swing to the morning light. Come on over, you're all invited to see my baby dancing with me.
And that's the sounds of Let's Drift, the ultimate tribute to the original Drifters. And I'm sitting here with a young man, I say young man very loosely, sitting here with Gillie Leroy Jones. Good afternoon, Gillie.
Good afternoon, Mark. Nice to be here, and you can say that as loosely as possible.
Now, we're going to talk about various things, but you have been doing lots and lots of things in your career. But I'm going to firstly say that you're a local man. You're an Edinburgh man.
I'm a local fella, yeah, born and bred in Edinburgh here, yeah.
Yep. And
I'm an inch man, that's what we call it, an inch man.
From the smallest place in Edinburgh.
Yes.
The Inch.
But the most talented place in Edinburgh, I think, because loads and loads of bands, as you know, came from the Inch.
Yep, loads of bands, loads of singers, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Now, to give you your full introduction, 45 years in the business, taking you back to 1968, where you started off at a very young 17 years old.
I was 17, yeah, man, I tell you.
In a band called One Too Many.
Yeah, what happened with that was actually my father, who's from Belize, he made me my first guitar. He made guitars. And I remember learning about 3 chords, and I saw this advertisement in a local shop, guitarists wanted, so I applied.
Yeah.
And it was 4 guys that looked for guitars. So anyway, they tried me out. No chance, I wasn't a guitarist. The guy called Colin McKellar, a great guy, he played the guitar at the time. But they says, can you sing? I said, I can sing. And that's when I became the lead vocals of the group at the time, One Too Many. It was Colin McKellar, Billy McGee, Brian McNally on the keyboards, lovely guy.
See, we're testing your memory now.
Test my memory, you're going back, yeah. And Mike Galloway was on the drums.
So, I mean, it's a long time ago, and obviously, just young local guys who got together and started playing music that you loved.
Motown, well, they called it Tapla Motown at the time, Tapla. It was Tamla Motown, that's what we started off doing, yeah.
So you moved on to another couple of groups, because there was One Too Many.
And
then it changed into Index.
The Index, yeah, which we've done quite a few shows here, the Top Story, all these places, the Cavendish at that time. The International was in Princess Street. And just
Now, did you think going back? I mean, before your very tender age of 17, where you actually embarked upon this musical career, but when you were younger, did you think, I want to be a singer? That's what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, that was always since I was age of 12, because I remember going on holiday with the school camping, and they had sort of music time there with a piano, and I was up singing at that time, so I always wanted to do that sort of thing,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then, for young guys, I suppose it's the same for all the young lads who are in their sort of third, fourth, fifth, and sixth years at school now, who are in the bands, and they get known for their music, and there's all the young girls and all the rest. It must have been an interesting time as in your late teens, to go into this, to put yourself into the spotlight.
Yeah, it was absolutely great, because you know yourself, and when you're a young guy, you do. Yeah, you got the girls, and that was a good part of it. That you had the sort of fan base. We had some good fan bases. And also, you're getting experience and working an audience on the stage. Although you're quite young, you're quite sort of green at that time, but you learn. Through time, you learn to work the audience and just basically enjoy it, and have a good time with yourself and the band, the rest of the guys,
So the band kept together for about 7 years.
The index I was with, I was about 5 years that group. Then I basically got a real quite bad throat infection, so I basically jacked that group in. So it was about a year later, I met up with a friend, old school friend of mine, Dino, and he was in the band at that time called Max's Taxi.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked me to come do a couple of songs with him, and the manager at the time liked the 2-part harmony, and he asked me to join him, so I joined that group. And then that group went on for a good 6 years, and that was a great
Now, there
band.
may be some, because I actually remember the name, but maybe some of our older listeners, I've got to say, who remember Max's Taxi.
I'm sure they would. Max's Taxi soul band was a great, but the drummer was a great guy, Freddie White. He's now up in North with his caravan and all, but had some fantastic gigs with that group. And it was one of my first soul act that done soul stuff. Sam and Dave.
Yep.
That's what the 2 vocalists and done. Sam and Dave mixed soul. Great band it was. Yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun.
So, I mean, was that just all local at that point in Gillie? Was that just local stuff, or was it branching out all
branched
around?
out there. We did Glasgow, Strathpeffer, Perth. We were all basically all over the place with that band. Yeah.
You've mentioned all the exotic places in
All the
Scotland.
exhaust places, but at that time, at that time it was great. That's what you were in that bubble there. But that's where you played, and you done Dundee. Like I say, all these different places. It was great.
I think nowadays, obviously, it's so much different, because you a lot of bands carry a lot less equipment than used to be. But I think I've spoken to a lot of people for older bands from years and times gone by, where they've said that part of the problem is was somebody's motor going to make it, or was the van going to make it, or did a couple of you have to get the bus to the gig because there wasn't enough room?
Yeah, at that time again, even when I was with we got buses and cars, and like you're saying, we were up doing a show up in Dundee. Very rainy night it was. The wipers packed in, so you've got Dino on one side, I'm on the other side with a bit of string, and giving it all this, and right back, back and forth, but that's the fun of it again. That's the experience you get.
I suppose that was a fun life on the road.
Yeah, it was great, and you had to do it. You just had to get there and get back.
Now, we're going to talk about various things that you've done in your career,
yeah.
including, loads of stuff, touring and working with Ben E. King, which we're going to talk about in a wee minute. But we're going to squeeze in as much music, not just of yourself, but we're going to play a song a wee bit later on that's by your son's band.
My son's band, Alabaster Jones, a funk band now. I think they're really great. I think they're going to go places, and just part of the family stuff, So
Here's another song that you've done with the band. This is Under the Boardwalk.
Oh, when the sun beats down and burns a tar upon the roof, and your shoes get so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, on a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun, under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun. Under the boardwalk, people walking about. Under the boardwalk, we'll be falling in love. Under the boardwalk, boardwalk. From the pond you hear the happy sound of a carousel. You can almost taste the hot dog, the French fry they sell. having some fun. People walking above. We'll be falling in love under the boardwalk, boardwalk. On a blanket with my baby is where I'll be.
Under the boardwalk,
Out of the sun,
under the boardwalk,
we'll be having some fun.
under the boardwalk,
People walking above,
under the boardwalk.
we'll be making